2014 was named the Year of Agriculture and Food Security by the African Union, a designation that comes at a time when about 5 million Africans still die of hunger each year and many more millions suffer from malnutrition. We've heard here about the increasing political will to transform African agriculture and the rapid growth in investments aimed at achieving this goal. So how can the hundreds of leaders that attended the 2014 Africa Green Revolution Forum leverage these and other positive trends to accelerate agricultural growth and improve livelihoods?
And welcome to the fourth edition of the African Green Revolution in Africa.
We have reached sufficient consensus to act. We all gathered here know exactly what needs to be done. I can't say we have every answer. We have every solution, but we all know what needs to be done. It is a call to action. Thank you very much. Welcome.
So this forum, I hope, will have a plan and a target when we shall enhance agricultural productivity and make local food production competitive enough to replace food imports and generate food surpluses to export, and also to position Africa not only to feed itself, but to contribute to feeding the rest of the world.
African farmers are no different from farmers in any part of the world. The issue is that they're not just as supported as farmers in other parts of the world, and that absolutely has to change.
Nigeria Minister of Agriculture Dr. Akinwumi Adesina called on fellow ministers of agriculture to assist their governments in fixing the hiccups in Africa's agricultural sector.
Our challenge as policymakers now is to build up demand and scale up biofortified crops to reach millions of households. To achieve this, we must address supply and demand issues.
Partnering with the private sector can help improve this supply chain, to accelerate impact and to ensure that research breakthroughs benefit as many people as possible. We need to find ways to involve them.
That Africa is not a poor continent. Africa is a rich continent with lots of poor people. Why can't we process and do it for our own middle class and keep some of the $35 billion we used to import for our own farmers, for our own people?
If mankind is to seriously address climate change, which we must, then we must change the way we do agriculture so as to drastically reduce its contribution to climate change.
I think more than ever we're seeing more private sector players, businesses, coming into meetings of this kind. Before, you would see a lot of government presence and a lot of the development world as well. But now the private sector is coming in and its voice is very strong, and it's telling government and the development sector, hold on a minute, development and aid has not worked for Africa. We need to do things differently. We need to be sustainable.
Farmer associations, youth groups, research institutes and other stakeholders use the AGRF space for creative learning and solution-driven conversations focused on the transformation of agriculture. The 6 tracks along which conversations were held should catalyze new initiatives, investments and partnerships needed to reach the AU's declaration goals on accelerated agricultural growth.
This is a forum which allows all of us to discuss the interests of what serves all of us. At the end of the day, the only real sustainable development is commercially sustainable development. And to drive that, private sector should be involved.
Without good policy, agriculture in Africa cannot move.
I would like a moving from policies and declarations and decisions and reports. We have enough of those in Africa. We want tangible commitment.
My overall expectations are to get a lot of networking going, a lot of contacts, a lot of understanding exactly of what the youth's problems are.
While a number of important and action-oriented issues were brought to the table, attracting young people to careers in agriculture was an overarching concern.
A revolution is not a revolution without young people. We have to leave this place and call on our youth to come to agriculture.
Go through the whole value chain and you bring billions of young people into entrepreneurs in agriculture.
We hope that the involvement of youth participation in agriculture would increase based on the outcome of this meeting.
The time has come for agriculture not only to be climate smart, but also to be nutrition smart.
We do need to have a lot of consumer education about what we need to consume.
To establish comprehensive food security and nutrition information systems for decision making, for policy improvement and program assessment.
One that we're very excited about is the Agriculture Transformation Agency happening here in Ethiopia, and the great work that is being shown when you see partnership in action.
AGRF has enabled my staff and my country to learn from other African countries. We have particularly learned from the importance of building capacity in our farmers, accelerating women's control and ownership of land, and seeing agriculture as an integrated value chain.
The statistic that we all held as a bedrock of all gender-friendly and women-sensitive and women empowerment work, which is that women comprise 70% of farm labor, that in some countries that has now moved down to 25%.
Commitment to building inclusive agricultural value chains will recognize the complexity of the identities of those we seek to include.